good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Hi there, hope you had a great weekend. I certainly did. So, yes, today's video, yes, as you can probably read by the title, is a pedalboard update. I've recently kind of been playing around with my pedalboard, and for the last couple of months live, my live pedalboard has been smaller than it was in a previous video. So, without further ado, let's show you what I've done, shall I? Mwah! Okay, so, what we got. So, it's basically kind of the same as before, but I have took off the Dunlop Roto Vibe. That's gone. I just stopped using it totally, and it was just kind of sat there. And I've took off the Electro Harmonics Double Muff Fuzz, which again, I just stopped using. But this kind of like, I wouldn't say fell out of favour, just kind of like fell out of usage more than anything. I just didn't see the point in having them there anymore, so I took them off and stripped back down to just this lot. So I've got my Zoom G2 .1U here. This is kind of like the brain of a pedalboard, so to say. I've got my Line 6 delay modeler here with 3 different delays. Well, actually I've got 2 delays and a reverse effect, and I'll get to showing you what that does in a bit. My Governor 2 Plus distortion pedal. Golden Plexi for clean boost, John Frusciante clean boost stuff. Vox Wah pedal, the silver top one. It's not the expensive USA one, it's the V... I get confused by the numbers. V4876719 flux capacitor ding thing, I don't know. But anyway, that's my wah pedal. I love this wah pedal. And I've got my Boss DS2 at the end there, which is coloured in, but it is a DS2. So basically, I'm just going to like go through some of the patches I've got on the Zoom pedal, show you the delay effects I've got. Some of it hasn't really changed. Obviously, the Governor kind of is kind of like, you know, a mainstay. So's the Zoom, so's the Line 6. I don't actually remember what I had on my board in the last video, but I'm pretty sure some of this is different. I'm also going to show you the Ibanez WH10 emulation trick I do with the Governor and the Vox. So, because obviously I've only got one WH10 and it's on a different board. So yeah, I'll show you that board actually in a sec actually. But yeah, so I'm going to show you all the different kind of sounds I get out of this and all the different combinations. Like I combine, the Golden Plexi is pretty much always on, but I'll talk about that again in a minute. But I can kind of combine these 2 pedals and then them 2 pedals and everything. Everything works in harmony. It's very, very happy and I love it. This is my other board. This is the board that I have really in the Cove, and any videos you've heard recently with pedals and Untitles and stuff like that, that's all this board. But basically it's just a carbon copy of this one, just minus, be quiet phone, just minus the delay modeler and the Golden Plexi and the Vox. So basically I've got the Ibanez Wah, the Jackhammer and the Ditto Looper X2 on this board instead of the Line 6 delay modeler, the Vox Wah and the Golden Plexi. So that's just basically a carbon copy just with a couple of different pedals, and that's just the channel switcher for the orange, just the channel select from clean to dirty. So yeah, without further ado, I'm using my 60s reissue Strat today, as this is my go-to guitar for anything. This is the guitar I judge everything by. If it sounds not right compared to when I plug that into it, it's normally not right. It's just, I know what this guitar sounds like through anything, because I've had it for such a long period of time, and I'm so used to the sound of this guitar that at the moment something sounds funny and I'm playing this guitar, I know it's not the guitar, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, without further ado, let's stop jibber-jabbering and show you some sounds from the board. Okay, so, sorry everyone, I'm still a bit croaky. First thing I thought I'd show you today is basically just the clean, like, core sound of my pedal board. Just basically just the CL20 and the guitar. No pedals on. Just kind of straight, kind of clean sound. Everything's going through the dirty channel of the CL120. Not using the clean channel, not using the reverb. I do use reverb on the amp occasionally, but not all the time. So yeah, and then I'm going to show you the Golden Plexi, then the Governor, then the DS2, the Vox Wah, the delay, and then I'm going to finish with the Zoom, as that's got kind of like the most stuff in it, so to say. So, so yes, let's order a business, let's get to it, shall we? So this is, excuse me everybody, this is just basically a core, super, super clean sound, and so basically just is like the CR120's dirty channel set super clean, sounds like this. super, super clean, you know, no hint of distortion or anything, like mega, mega clean. We're going to be playing a lot of Jimi Hendrix today as well, as it's Jimmy's birthday, so happy birthday, Jimmy. So yeah, so that's my basically, like, you know, clean sound that I don't really use a great deal anymore. I normally 99.9% of the time have the golden plexi on top of that. So basically, this is just clean, and this is kind of clean Mark II with golden plexi. So it sounds like this. Well, going from one to the other, you kind of hear it. The golden plexi just fattens it up and just gives it a little bit more kind of like, you know, so to say. You can hear it kind of kick in. It's just a bit bigger and fatter, and you kind of get. So that's my main kind of clean sound I have all the time is the golden plexi. Set not 100% clean, but kind of it's just kind of boosting it just enough. So that's on pretty much 99% of the time. The governor pedal. What I do with the governor normally is if I'm kind of playing rhythm guitar, I'll have my guitar volume at 8. And then I'll put it up to 10 for the solos, and it sounds like this. So this is volume at 8. I mean, it's just massive, especially with palm mute on E. Yeah, just really big, and I don't know what that face was. But anyway, let's move on. So it's just really, really big, and then if I want, for solos and stuff, I just have the guitar volume on 10, and it just has a load of cut. It really cuts through, especially if you kind of be doing unison bend. So that's my kind of main kind of distortion, as I say. So and that's what the governor does, and this is the governor on its own. This gives me a really cool kind of classic rock kind of sound. Just really fat sounding. So that's just the good on its own. It's just massive and fat, and I love it to bits. As soon as I plugged into that pedal, I was like, this is the best distortion pedal ever, and it's been my favourite ever since, and I've had it for many, many years now. I don't know how long I've had it for, but I've had it for a long, long time, and I absolutely love it to bits. I have 3 of them, because I'm a hoarder. When I find something I really like, I hoard it like a nutter. Anyway, so that's a combination of golden plexi and the governor just on its own. I'll tell you what I will do, actually. I'll quickly show you the Vox wah pedal. And I'll show you kind of the Ibanez wah trick I do with the governor and it, just to kind of like, you know, simulate it, so to say. Because a lot of people ask all the time what's the next best pedal next to the WH10, and I always say the Vox, and I'll show you what I mean. Kind of like you kind of almost simulate that WH10 thing. So let me show you that. Okay, so the Vox wah pedal. Just with the golden plexi is really cool. It's really nice, kind of like just really nice and clean. Yeah, really nice clean. You can kind of almost put reverb in quick. get away with that thing, which I really, really love. And I love the Vox Y. It's so clean and it's so precise with its sound. Like I used to use a Crybaby for ages, just a standard Crybaby, but I found that added a bit of gain, and I didn't like that. As soon as I got the Vox Y, this Y, it was just so clean. There was no kind of like boost in anything. It was just like there. It just was awesome. So the Ibanez WH10 trick with the Vox. So I have a governor set for flat out distortion. And what I do basically is just roll the volume down to about 8 normally, and it kind of gives me a similar sound. It's not exact, because you're never going to get exact to the Ibanez. It's too much of a distinctive sounding pedal, but you kind of get close. So you can kind of emulate it. I've actually got my volume on 7 actually, so I do apologise about that. But with that, just gives you. And if you put the volume up to about 9. And you can also do, if you leave the Vox Y on full tilt. You know, so that's my pseudo WH10 basically. That's how I do it. I use the distortion pedal, well, kind of overdrive if you will, and just kind of like that kind of takes the place of the Ibanez Y's boost, basically, that kind of gain boost that pedal's got. I kind of use the governor for that, and then just kind of, because the Vox is super clean. So that's like that's even on Golden Plexi, so that's like mega clean. So yeah, that's how I do the kind of pseudo WH10 trick, basically. So yeah, moving now on to the DS2. One of my favourite pedals of all time again, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's the governor, that's the Golden Plexi, that's the Vox Y, that's the pseudo WH10 trick I always talk about and I've never shown because I'm an idiot. So that's what I would recommend if you don't want to get a WH10. I'd always recommend doing that kind of thing. Get like an overdrive pedal out of the governor and the Vox Silvertop Y, because it's got so much sweep on it. It just sounds right. And basically kind of like just put the volume down like you know, to where it's starting to bite basically. So anyway, enough on that. Let's move on to the DS2 now and have some fun with feedback and lots of gain. Okay, so DS2, yes, everything's on 10. This is it combined with the Golden Plexi. So this is, sometimes I use it like this, and sometimes I combine it with the governor, and sometimes I combine it with all three. It's never on its own. Without the Golden Plexi or the governor, it just sounds really nasty. It's always on with another pedal. I never have it on its own. It's not like the governor or the Golden Plexi where I can have it on its own and it still sounds good. The DS2 is a bit gnarly. It sounds like this, and it's really loud and it's just a bit shrill. So it's always got a pedal on just to rein it in because it's such a wild pedal. So stalking the wilds of the pedalboard is the Boss DS2, and oh my god, here comes a Golden Plexi. I don't want to know that. Anyway, the Wildlife Pedalboard channel with Dave Simpson, everybody. Anyway, moving along. So this is the DS2 with the Golden Plexi, and it's really gives me a real nice kind of almost Slane Castle-y kind of sound. So that's basically the DS2 with the golden plexi, and the golden plexi and the DS2 love each other, so it's a really nice sound, and it really gives you that kind of really cool kind of... Bridge pickup is just really fat for power muting. So that's the golden plex in the DS2. The governor in the DS2 gives me a really cool kind of Danny California solo tone, and it also gives me a really, and adding the Vox wah at the end really helps kind of simulate the WH10 as well. So governor, DS2, and then I'm going to shove the Vox on it just to kind of like give that kind of crazy John Frusciante wah sound. So that's basically that. That's crazy. You can also use it's just a mad wah wah sound, and you can also use the golden plexi and the turbo distortion and the Vox as well, and it gives you hiss, but it's not quite the same wah sound, but it's close. So that's basically all combinations of distortion there. Oh, and I can have them all on if I want. Immense amounts of gain. That was dead sloppy, so I do apologise. I'm really sorry about that. So, excuse me. So yeah, that's the Vox, that's the DS2, that's the golden plex, that's the governor. Gonna go on to the line 6 now and show you the three effects I've got in there. Okay, so quite simply on the line 6 delay modeler, I've got a really crazy long delay, which is really nice, kind of like doing volume swaps. Got a kind of solo delay, if you will, kind of like one that's kind of just nice for kind of like single note kind of lead lines. And then I've also got a reverse effect, which I use a lot for the band I'm in, Dukes Deluder. I use it a lot. Don't really use it in my trio or anywhere else, but I use it a lot for Dukes Deluder stuff. And that's fun, and I'll show you a bit more about with that in a minute when I get to the zoom pedal. But that's basically it. That's what I've got, and I like the crazy delay because I get to do stuff like this. If I just have the governor on, do all these kind of Jimi Hendrix weird things, like. Turn everything off and let the delay just die itself out, and I do that I use that quite a lot to kind of fade out on certain parts. Like it's nice, kind of like if you kind of end on a big kind of crazy noise, just turn everything off and just let the delay die away, which is really cool. So that's basically my line 6. Again, they all work with all effects. Reverse sounds really funny with the golden plexi and the turbo distortion. It sounds really cool. Especially if you play super fast. There it is. So yeah, I love reverse. I think reverse guitar is so much fun. Thank you, Jimmy, for introducing us all to that thing. Ridiculously good fun. So yeah, so that's line 6, Governor, Golden Plexi box, DS2. Going to move on to the Zoom pedal now and show you everything I've got in there, because I've got a lot in there. That is really the brain of this entire board. So yes, Zoom pedal time. Okie dokie, so yes, let's move on to the brain of the operation, the Zoom G2, which I absolutely adore, love, and cherish in my own strange little way. Anyway, yes, the brain of the whole situation, the Zoom does a lot. It does a lot for me. It does a lot of other effects and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, A7 is normally the patch I use kind of most often if I'm playing trio stuff. I'll get to some of the other patches I use in different bands and this, that and the other in a minute. But A7's one I kind of use quite often for, well, kind of a lot of stuff. So A7 is just clean. It's just the sound you've been hearing, basically. I've got A6 set up with a chorus for stuff like this. So that's my chorus sound. I've got octave dividers in here, so the octave divider in the Zoom pedal sounds really nice with the Governor and the DS2. So without it, with it, so that's just massive, basically, and that's the patch I kind of use. It's A1 and A2 on the patches. I normally use them if I'm kind of doing a trio gig. A duo gig. Sorry, me and brother John Joe, the drummer, we sometimes do like a duo thing, and that's the kind of patch I do use for that, and just kind of like, just make everything really fat and huge and just kind of emulate that kind of low end, so it's of a bass player when it's not there. So that's what I use for that. A7's basic, kind of clean. A6 is chorus. I also have the pedal set up to boost me for solos. So, for instance, like, you can hear the volume jump. So this is my kind of just bog standard clean. And if I kind of go to A8, which is my kind of like solo boost, you can hear the volume jump. And then back to A7, you can hear that jump. And because I'm a gain nut, I like tons of distortion. Normally you can't get that volume jump. Because basically when you pile tons of gain on, it compresses your sound and you can't get a volume jump. You can't kind of get above the peak of the compression caused by all the distortion. So there's no way of getting your signal louder to do volumes. So what I do is I use the zoom and have A7 set quieter than A8 in the patches. So basically A7 is kind of set up like, you know, a quarter of the volume of an A8, so basically I can flip between the two, and A8's got a different EQ to A7, so I'm kind of like tailor the tone of my solos, so to say, and so that's how I get a volume jump live, because I like so much gain, the compression doesn't really allow you to do it any other way, so what I have is just basically A7 set up quieter for rhythm and clean stuff, and then A8 a lot louder to jump up to solo kind of volumes where I need to kind of like just have that extra bit of cut and, you know, volume kick, and basically that's how I do that. And I think that's a really cool thing with pedals like the Zoom, like a multi-effects, is that you can do that. So you can have, like, you know, a sound here and a sound there, volume wise, so you can flip between the two. Otherwise I won't be able to do a volume solo boosts, and I'd just get lost in the mix and it would just disappear, especially if you kind of play with another guitarist. So that's what I do to do volume jumps. I've also got bank B, basically. Kind of set B1 is kind of like my main kind of Dukes Deluder kind of tone. It's got reverb on it. And I've got it set with the expression pedal on the Zoom pedal, so I can have nothing. I can roll it in. I can have it full whack. And it's really cool. I love having it on the expression pedal. It just kind of gives me the ability to just kind of get the right amount. I want it when I want it, because there's certain bits in songs where it'll be quite mild like that. In the chorus section, I want loads of reverb for single note things, just to make them kind of like ring out a bit more, and I'll just crank it all the way up. And then just roll it back down for, you know, it's really cool, so I love that. So that's kind of like, that sound is kind of like my core kind of clean sound for the other band I'm in, Dukes Deluder. And I've also got this sound, which I really love. This is a combination of chorus, delay, golden plexi, and reverse, and I've got it set up on a volume on the expression pedal. So it's quite a cacophony of noise, but I use it for an intro of a song. I use it for an intro of two songs that we do. I use it for the intro of one song we do. I use it without the reverse effect for another song we do, which I'll show you in a minute. But it sounds really nice. It's just got this really kind of dreamy kind of sound. And then I also use it without the reverse effect on another song. And it's just a really nice, really cool sound. I've got solo boosts as well. Just again, same kind of thing, just the same kind of deal as what I spoke about before. B1 is a quieter level patch than B2. B2 is a louder patch, so I kick on B2 for doing solos with. And then my kind of main kind of patches for Dukes Deluder, the other band I'm in. I've also got a chorus, which is there. Kind of gives gives me an African kind of guitar sound. Which I love. I absolutely love that sound, that guitar style. And then I've also got the band Gimbal I was in a long time ago, that American punk rock kind of band I was in. I've still got the distortion sound I had for that set in the Zoom G2 as well. And this is just the Zoom's inbuilt distortion sound. It's really fast. And it's super quiet. There's a lot of gain on that. But I've got the noise gate activated in the Zoom, and it keeps it really quiet. And that's it. That is the whole lot. That's my entire setup basically. And I'm kind of spoiled for choice really. I've got so much I can kind of do and use at my disposal. It's really cool. And also I can do like bad penny stuff with the octave divider, because Rory would sometimes use an octave divider on the riff. Which I love. But yeah, that's it. I've got like kind of a core kind of clean sound, which is golden plexi. Everything kind of piles on top of that. Delays, choruses, reverbs, wah. But yeah, that's it. That's my pedalboard at this point in time. It's small. It's not a great deal to it, but it does a lot, and I love that. And I love the fact it's like, you know, there's not a lot to think about really there, especially if I'm singing, which I hate doing, but you know, so I have to sometimes. But yeah, that's it really. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video on my pedalboard update, so to say. And yeah, I'll see you again on Wednesday for Q&A Wednesday. Oh yeah. Shall we do a loop to finish with? Haha, I think we shall. What can we do? Let's do something in the moment. So I'm going to use the Line 6's loop modeler. Loop sampler thing, which is really cool. I love that as well. I love having the ability to loop things live. So let's do something with loads of reverb in the key of C# minor. Yes, why not? back.